You know, a question gets asked quite a bit, and I figured it's time to address it. And that is, how much should you charge to rekey a Kwikset Smartkey lock? And to help me talk about it and have a good discussion, I have my dad, the Lockfather.
How's it going?
Good, good. Welcome back. It's been a few, as a matter of fact, just before you arrived here, I haven't actually got to see you for a couple weeks.
Yep.
So nice to see you.
Yeah, same here.
So now when it comes to rekeying a smart key, kind of walk us through the steps.
Well, a smart key, you have your little tool, you have the user key,
yep,
and then you have your new key you're going to hook it to. But the problem with smart key is that they're sticky most of the time. You still have to, I always lubricate them before I rekey them because the chambers get sticky in there.
Sure.
You put your tool in,
yep,
sometimes it just doesn't slide and you have to fiddle with it to get it in. You slide, turn it, pull it out, your key, and then put the other one in.
Yep.
Then turn it back. But sometimes they screw up on you. I mean, it's the technology, it's quick and easy most of the time.
Yeah.
But there are issues with them.
Yeah, so if we can just rewind for a sec. So like at the basic level, you're doing what? Like if everything goes perfectly, you're
in and out quickly.
Quickly, right? As long as you have like another key already prepped.
Right. You already have a set.
It's kind of something that is meant in a perfect world to be able to do right at the door.
Right.
With very limited skill.
Right.
Was that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Very fair.
Now, with that being said, so we talked about the rekey part, but as someone who, a locksmith or someone who works with doors and locks, there's obviously more that goes into it than just the rekey. It's making sure it's latched properly, it's aligned properly. There's all the little kind of the nuanced things that at first glance, no one really talks about, but when you actually get out there and you start working on lock, because this is what we do know, right? The second you touch that door,
you're responsible.
You're responsible.
No matter if that's not the reason you were called.
Yes, that's just how it works. Right?
So you want to make sure before you even touch the door that the dead latch isn't falling in the hole, that it's locking properly, that when you close the door that it latches, period.
Yep.
Because, over age, the door sags and it doesn't latch.
Yep.
Same with the deadbolt. Make sure it goes in the hole smoothly.
Exactly. So there's all of these other things. So, and the reason I want to bring it up is because when we talk about rekeying, it's really easy to go just directly to like, okay, one, you take a plug clip off essentially.
Right.
Take out pins, put in pins.
Let the follower do that.
Yes.
Right. Check master pins.
Smart key, use a little tool.
Right.
Do the thing. But there's a lot more that goes into it. And I think to have a good conversation about charging for smart keys compared to normal, we have to really look at the larger picture.
Right.
And that is, for the most part, like we were just saying, when you get hired to go out to a house or a business for that matter, as soon as you touch the door, in the customer's mind, you're essentially now responsible for that door working properly.
Right, because whenever we go out and we get a recall, I said, didn't you guys check that before you even touch the door? I want to make sure you try the key on every lock before you even take them apart, make sure everything's working, because like you said, as soon as we touch that door, we're responsible. Customer says, well, that's not why they called us there. Well, but that's part of our job to check it. So you want to make sure all that stuff is working properly.
It's all the nuance that goes around the job.
Right.
And so with that being said, let's dive into it now. Okay, so you've always had your standard rekey charge for residential homes. Right. Okay. Nowadays, with smart key out there, if you or one of your locksmith techs go out to a job and it ends up being smart key, do you charge differently? Talk us through that.
We charge the same no matter what.
So smart key or non-smart key?
Right.
Okay.
Customers bring brand new locks into the store, we still charge them the full bore because they didn't read the instructions, didn't try, didn't do whatever. But again, as soon as we touch it, we're responsible for it.
Sure.
So even a brand new lock out of the package can screw up. So then we have to take it apart, reset it, and change it there. So why am I going to do it for anything less when I got to be responsible and guarantee everything we do?
Okay. So if I were to play devil's advocate for a minute and just, if someone who's watching this is like, hey, that's crazy that you would charge that, like what would be your rebuttal to that?
Well, first of all, we're professionals. We're going to be paid for our knowledge. If the consumer can do it, let them do it. But when they screw up, who are they going to bring it to? Us.
Yeah.
We got to be paid for our knowledge, no matter if it takes 30 seconds to do it or it takes you an hour. Mm-hmm. You're going to charge for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's...
Everybody puts it down that our time isn't worth anything. For me to pay for my company, for me to pay my guys and their benefits, it takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we got to charge accordingly.
Yeah.
I'd love to do everything for free, but I can't do it and pay the bills.
Yeah.
And my guys are always saying, man, you give too much stuff away. And I do, because I'm a generous guy.
Yeah.
But at least our bills are being paid.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And, and I think if we try to look at it, and maybe this isn't the best example, but it's the example coming to me right now.
Right.
Right. Like in your vehicle owner's manual, it shows you how to change the oil.
Yes.
Right. Gives you all the specs you need to change it.
Right.
And you can change it yourself if you have the technical know-how.
Right.
Right. Or not. You can attempt it.
Right.
Or you can take it to someone and they're going to charge you a labor.
Right.
To do that.
And the parts, right.
And the parts, right? In the same way, when you buy a lock, most of the time, it comes with a template.
Yes.
For you to, like a deadbolt, where you could
install it.
Essentially install the deadbolt.
Right.
Now, the way I've always kind of looked at it, and tell me if you agree or disagree, and I think I've got this from you over the years, right? Is like there's people that they're DIYers, right? Like they are very handy, they're very mechanically inclined, and they like to do stuff themselves, and they like to save the money, right? Those people are going to, for the most part, take care of their own locks, right? There's going to. And then there's other ones that are just going to call someone to get it done.
Yeah, I like taking care of everything myself, and you like calling somebody. Because I enjoy doing it. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, and I
get satisfaction out of it.
Yeah.
Where you'd rather go play golf, and I'd rather work around the house.
You're outing me here.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, I
would rather pay somebody.
Yep, that is true. That is true. Good stuff. There you go. There you go, everybody.
I threw you underneath the bus and ran over you twice.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I deserve it.
Okay.
I deserve it. But no. So I think that's a good conversation to talk about. And so you charge the same no matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
And I mean, but would you also agree to the fact that some people are gonna pay,
right?
And some people are gonna do it themselves.
Yes.
Right. In the same way, you get the template and all of that.
Right.
So at the same time, so how would you say, while we're at it here really quick, so what would you say to someone who says, well, you know what, like I normally charge $15 for a normal rekey, but if it's a smart key, I just charge $7.50 because for me, it's half the work. How would you? I
disagree with that because you have to still guarantee it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when we sell brand new hardware to commercial or residential, well, residential mostly, we charge them half price to rekey it all to fit their key.
Yeah.
Because hardware is hardware. You charge for the hardware.
Yeah.
And then we used to rekey the locks for free. But you see how much time you're paying your people to rekey all this. Okay, they're making X amount of dollars. Well, it just took them 2 hours to rekey 20 some locks. Well, how am I going to make up those 2 hours worth of labor?
Yeah.
I'm taking that out the profit of the lock itself. I made no money.
Yeah.
So that's why
it's kind of the rubber really meets the road in business,
right?
When there's money being made or money not being made, right? And so
it's taken me I've been in business 40 plus years, and, about 3 years ago is when we decided to do that, because I'm going, where's all the labor costs,
Yeah.
not being paid.
It's fair,
And the same with the Rekey.
Yeah.
I mean, smart key or not,
Yeah.
you got to be paid.
Absolutely. So in closing, for you and your company, through all of the reasons we've discussed here today, you just charge, when someone calls you out for a residential Rekey, you're going to charge.
You quote them the same price,
You're gonna,
because they don't know what they have either.
Yeah. Nor are they usually ever interested
Right.
in that.
And, I'm not saying we don't do it here and there for nothing, but we usually 99.9 charge everybody.
Yeah. I mean, there's always exceptions in business, right?
Right.
Circumstance exceptions, all of that. But yeah, interesting. So, what I find most interesting about this conversation is that, and what I hope everyone who is watching or listening kind of hears, is that you are doing what you're doing based on what you know it takes to be able to not only to stay in business,
Right.
but to have a healthy company,
Yes.
right?
And what makes a healthy company? The checkbook.
Yeah.
So you're able to pay for stuff
Absolutely.
and replace stuff.
And so I think a lot of times we can get lost in the weeds of the details of, do you charge X amount, or why do you charge so little, or why do you charge so much, or I'd do that for half, or I'd do that for double, right? And what we're really trying to accomplish here is to have companies that are healthy.
Right.
Right? Have companies that are healthy, that either support you and your family, or your staff and their family, and that sort of thing. And so, although it's great, and I'm glad we really dove into the weeds on what you charge and why,
Right.
I think it's more important that whatever decision that we decide to make in business, that we're making it to where our company can thrive.
Right.
Healthy.
And customers say, gosh, how come it's so much? Well, I'm not in business to give everything away and struggle my whole life. At first we all struggle.
Yeah.
But sometime in business you're going to make it and be successful in the world's quote,
Yeah.
But if you're healthy in business, then you're able to help and do other things too, with other locksmiths, other clients, whatever.
Sure.
And keep it going.
Absolutely.
And help your employees where you can. I mean, it's not, all the money's not for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. Well, perfect. Well, Dad, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
yeah.
It's an
no
interesting
problem.
subject. I'm glad that we were able to kind of at least start the conversation
Yeah.
about it, But I would really love to know, for all of you watching and listening, what your thoughts are. Like, do you agree with the Lockfather? Do you have a different point of view that you could share? Of course, we would absolutely love to hear it. Part of growing together and learning together is sharing productively how we feel and think about different things, so we can all learn together. So I would absolutely love to know your thoughts. I'm sure you would too.
Oh, yeah. Because, PJ doesn't always agree with me. That's obvious. And I don't agree with him.
Perfect. Well, hey, we would love to know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure that you include the hashtag Lockboss to automatically get entered in to win one of 5 free prizes we give away each week here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
See ya.